12 harshest truths about women that men learn too late. Ladies are a complex tapestry of strength, cunning, and emotional intelligence, qualities that have often left many men not just puzzled, but utterly blindsided. Today, we're stripping away the rose-colored glasses to unveil the raw, intricate realities of female nature, a domain many men have explored, but few have genuinely mastered. Buckle up as we plunge into 12 harshest truths about women that men learn too late. Stick around until the end because the final revelation is a game changer you definitely won't want to miss. Number 1. Lust or pity. Look, the fact is that women will show attention to men that they lust and desire, or men that they pity and feel bad for. Firstly, let's explore the notion of lust. This is where a woman is genuinely attracted to a man, driven by a deep-seated desire. This attraction is not just about physical looks. It often stems from the man's confidence, charisma, and the ability to engage her interest. It's about that spark, the chemistry that says, there's something here worth exploring. When a woman lusts after a man, she sees him as a potential romantic partner. On the flip side, we have pity. This might sound harsh, but it's a reality many men face without even realizing it. When a woman pities a man, she may still offer attention and kindness, but it's not rooted in romantic interest. Instead, it comes from a place of compassion, perhaps seeing the man as harmless, a non-threat whom she can talk to without any pressure of romantic escalation. This is often referred to as the pity zone, a not-so-coveted place where romantic prospects go to die. Here, the man is seen as a friend, or worse, invisible in terms of sexual or romantic potential. Why does this matter? Men who are unaware of these distinctions might misinterpret friendly gestures as signs of romantic interest, leading to confusion and frustration. Recognizing this can shift how you interact, ensuring you don't mistake politeness for interest. Number 2. The best option. What do you think is the best choice? Do you think she'll choose the man with the best profile? Comment your thoughts before we dive into the lesson. Another irrefutable truth I've learned about women is that the man who gets the woman will not necessarily be the man she wants or desires the most. It will be the best option that pursues her. The concept of the best option does not simply refer to a man's inherent qualities like looks or wealth, but emphasizes the significance of proactive behavior in the dating scene. This phenomenon is observable in everyday life. Consider the so-called ugly, broke, sweaty guys who might seem unlikely candidates for weekend romances, yet they frequently end up with partners. Why? Because they don't hesitate to approach women, express their interest directly, and invite them to spend time together. On the other hand, many attractive and ostensibly desirable men fail in the dating game due to passivity. Despite their good looks or impressive resumes, these men often rely too heavily on these attributes, assuming that these alone will draw women to them. However, without active engagement and clear expressions of interest, they remain just another face in the crowd. The Stoic philosophy offers a relevant insight here. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one. In the context of dating, this can be interpreted to mean stop contemplating how to be desirable and start engaging actively in the pursuit of partnership. Women, like anyone, respond to the choices that affect them directly, choices that are made in their presence. This means that the most decisive, engaged, and responsive man often wins favor, not necessarily the one who might objectively be considered the best in abstract terms. Number 3. She will test endlessly. Ever felt like you're constantly being quizzed in the dating world, but you can't quite figure out the questions until it's too late? You're not alone. Many men view the dating landscape as a minefield where women's actions are often perceived as unpredictable mood swings. Yet this supposed unpredictability is usually a deeper, instinctual vetting process where women, both consciously and subconsciously, assess men's suitability as long-term partners. Throughout history, women have subtly tested potential partners to uncover their true character and resilience. For example, a woman might spark a minor disagreement to observe how a man manages conflict. Does he react with heated emotion, or does he handle the situation with composure? A man's response can signal whether he possesses the emotional maturity essential for a stable, lasting relationship. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, once stated, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." This adage beautifully highlights the necessity of these challenges. These tests aren't about making life difficult, they're about confirming a man's capability to endure the natural stresses and strains of a committed partnership. The nature of these tests can vary. Some are subtle, perhaps gauging how a man treats waitstaff or reacts to a change of plans. Others might be more straightforward, probing his thoughts on future goals and personal values. Whether overt or covert, each test contributes to a woman's evaluation of a man as a potential partner. It's important to recognize that these tests are not driven by malice or manipulation. Understanding their purpose can guide men to respond more adeptly. Rather than feeling offended or annoyed, viewing these moments as opportunities to demonstrate patience, understanding, and resilience can transform potential conflicts into chances for strengthening mutual respect and deepening the relationship. What about you? Have you ever been put to the test by her? Comment on your bitter grade and share your experience. Number 4. Nice guys finish last. Nice guys finish last. This saying echoes bitterly for many men who felt the harsh pinch of rejection despite their best, kind-hearted intentions. Why does this notion persist in the dating world? It's more complex than just being too nice. Often it's about the dynamics and misperceptions that accompany this label. The stereotype of the nice guy usually paints him as somewhat passive-aggressive, where his niceness serves as a subtle strategy rather than genuine warmth. He's the man who thinks that by being exceedingly accommodating, he will eventually win over the object of his affection. However, this tactic often backfires. Women, with their sharp sense for genuineness, can typically sense when kindness is wielded as a tool for underlying motives. This perceived insincerity often relegates the nice guy to the friend zone. Contrastingly, the archetype of the bad boy exudes assertiveness and authenticity. He's straightforward about his intentions and desires, which paradoxically makes him more alluring. His boldness and confidence aren't about disrespect, but about being transparent with his identity and intentions. He embodies the principle that real recognizes real, and in the complex dance of dating, this authenticity often attracts. For nice guys, the real issue isn't the act of kindness itself, but how it is perceived and deployed. True kindness should be an authentic part of one's character, not a calculated move in the game of love. When kindness is expected to be reciprocated with romance or intimacy, it becomes tainted. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness," emphasizing kindness without expectations. In the realm of modern dating, men often sidelined for their niceness might need to introspect on their approach to kindness. Are they genuinely kind, or is their kindness performative, hoping to secure a particular outcome? Authentic kindness does not keep a ledger. It is given freely and generously, without looking for something in return. Thus, the secret for men finding themselves repeatedly stuck in the nice guy trap isn't to change their nature, but to ensure their keenness is heartfelt and without ulterior motives. By combining the genuine warmth of the nice guy with the clear, unapologetic authenticity of the bad boy, they can forge a persona that is both appealing and integral. This blend of true kindness and transparency is what can lead to meaningful connections where integrity isn't compromised and you don't just finish last, you don't finish at all, you continue growing. Number 5. Double standards. In today's cultural narrative, a woman asserting dominance in a relationship is often cheered on as a breakthrough against old patriarchal chains, proudly wearing the crown of empowerment. But pause for a moment. What happens when a man steers back to his traditional role as the leader? Well, he's quickly painted as the villain of the piece. a controlling monster straight out of a relationship horror story. Why the double standard? It seems only one side of the coin gets the spotlight, while the other is tossed in the shadows. This stark disparity has left a generation of men tiptoeing around their own shadows, muted into passivity, and frankly, it's doing no one any favors. Think about it. Playing the quiet game might seem like it keeps the peace, but it's really just a ticking time bomb wrapped in silence. Here's the kicker. Relationships built on the shaky foundation of one partner, diminishing themselves to please the other, are like houses built on sand. Eventually, they're going to collapse. This isn't just about power plays. It's about authenticity and mutual respect. In a genuinely healthy relationship, both parties should wield the pen equally when writing their shared story. Men, it's time to shake off the dust of outdated expectations and find a middle ground. Instead of defaulting to a passive role, why not aim for a partnership where leadership is a shared dance? After all, leading effectively in a relationship doesn't mean ruling with an iron fist, but guiding with a gentle hand and an open heart. Leadership in love should be about steering the ship together, facing storms side by side, and charting a course to mutual happiness. Remember, a true leader in any relationship is like a skilled conductor, valued not for overpowering the orchestra but for harmonizing the talents of each player to create a symphony worth remembering. So, let's redefine what it means to lead in love. Let's build relationships where both partners can soar without fearing that taking the lead might clip the other's wings. Because at the end of the day, a relationship where only one person is allowed to fly is really a solo flight that no one signed up for. Before we dive into the next lesson, make sure you've liked and subscribed to our channel so YouTube's algorithm can recommend this video to a wider audience. Thank you. Number 6. She is never platonic. One of the more contentious views in the realm of male-female relationships is the notion that there is no such thing as a truly platonic relationship between men and women. The argument is that often, when a man and a woman are just friends, there might be unacknowledged desires or suppressed intentions, especially from one side, typically the man's. This perspective suggests that many men fearing rejection or the potential loss of any relationship with the woman may choose to suppress their romantic feelings, opting instead for a platonic friendship. This is seen not as a genuine friendship but as a fallback, a safe zone where they can remain close to the person they are interested in, without risking the vulnerability that comes with expressing romantic feelings. Critics of this view often argue that men and women can indeed have purely platonic friendships without any underlying romantic tension. However, proponents, like the voice in this segment, might counter by suggesting that these friendships often have a dormant potential for romance, which could surface if circumstances were altered. They argue that many men, if given a chance, would transition the relationship to a romantic one, which casts doubt on the platonic nature of the relationship. If a man finds himself consistently befriending women to whom he is also attracted, it might be worth considering why he chooses this pattern of interaction. Is it a defense mechanism against romantic failure? A comfort zone that avoids the risks of dating? This introspection can lead to more honest interactions and perhaps a clearer strategy in how to approach relationships with women, whether to pursue romance openly or genuinely embrace a platonic stance without hidden agendas. However, acknowledging the potential for complexity and entangled motivations can lead to more profound personal insights and more authentic relationships. For men navigating these waters, it's crucial to be honest about their feelings both with themselves and their friends to ensure that they are not caught in an uncomfortable limbo of unspoken truths and unfulfilled desires. Number 7. Female pursuit. While it is true that it's a man's job to take the active role, to speak in an active voice, to lead things forward with a female, there are still going to be exceptions and times when a woman will actually chase a man. This isn't about dramatic gestures often depicted in media, like sudden declarations of love or grand romantic overtures. Rather, female pursuit tends to manifest in more subtle but significant ways, especially when the man embodies qualities that are highly desired. The reality of female pursuit is grounded not in the superficial or transient, but in a genuine attraction to men who have developed themselves into what might be considered high-value individuals. These are men who have invested in themselves across various aspects of life. They're physically fit, financially secure, well-groomed, and most importantly, confident and emotionally mature. Their attractiveness goes beyond the physical. It encompasses their ability to navigate life with competence and assurance. This kind of man who has honed his abilities and built a robust self-identity often finds that he doesn't need to chase women with the desperation that others might. They make the first move, but they do it in such a way that it allows the woman to feel secure and pursued, yet still leaves room for her to reciprocate the interest actively. This dynamic where women chase men flips traditional dating scripts, but is increasingly common in a society that values self-assured, accomplished men. For instance, when a woman cancels plans, but then sends mixed signals indicating she might still be interested, she's effectively testing how the man will react. Will he chase desperately, or will he demonstrate that his time and attention are valuable, thereby increasing his desirability? Understanding this aspect of dating is crucial for men. It underscores the importance of personal development and self-respect. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." In the context of dating, being master of oneself, self-assured, well-rounded, and emotionally balanced, can shift the traditional roles of pursuit. Number 8. Most women lack empathy. Is it just me, or have you noticed how empathy sometimes seems like a one-way street in relationships? There's a common myth casting men as the Stoic ones, supposedly immune to emotional pain. This myth fosters an empathy gap that isn't just anecdotal. It's deeply rooted in societal norms and expectations. From an early age, men hear the refrain "man up," a push towards hiding their emotions as a display of strength. This cultural script affects not only men, but also influences how women perceive men's emotions. When men show vulnerability, they not only battle their own ingrained stigmas, but also often encounter a lack of empathy from women, who might view such expressions as undesirable or weak due to the same societal conditioning. This doesn't imply that women naturally lack empathy. Instead, it highlights how social norms can distort our perceptions and expressions of empathy, a sort of learned insensitivity that needs to be unlearned. Both men and women can exhibit profound empathy, but the roles they've been taught often need substantial revision. Addressing this requires recognizing that men too are fully human, equipped with a rich array of emotions. It calls for a collective effort to cultivate a culture where emotional openness is not merely tolerated but celebrated. How do we bridge this empathy gap? The journey begins with dialogue. We need open, honest conversations about emotional needs and dismantling outdated myths surrounding masculinity and vulnerability. Encouraging men to share their emotional experiences without fear of judgment is crucial. For women, it involves actively listening and affirming these moments of vulnerability, seeing them not as weakness, but as displays of bravery and authenticity. To every man out there, your emotions are legitimate and require no defense. To every woman, your capacity for empathy can profoundly impact a man's life. Let's redefine strength, not as hiding weaknesses, but as the bravery to be authentic despite societal pressures. By enhancing empathy, we don't just improve romantic relationships, but all human interactions. True relationship strength is gauged by how well we understand and resonate with each other's deepest concerns and greatest aspirations. Let's champion empathy as the standard, transforming it into our collective superpower. Number 9. Bridges and skyscrapers. An intriguing metaphor often tossed around in discussions about motivation and ambition suggests that every bridge, skyscraper, invention, book, and movie was created by a man who was trying to get women's attention. The truth, harsh and often unspoken, is that the desire to be desirable is a powerful motivator for men. Consider the metaphor of constructing bridges or skyscrapers. These are not just feats of engineering, but also symbols of reaching higher, striving further, and overcoming obstacles, qualities that are traditionally admired, However, when it comes to personal happiness and fulfillment, especially in romantic relationships, these external achievements might mask an inner void if not aligned with genuine self-improvement and emotional intelligence. Many men find themselves pursuing success in various forms, hoping it will make them more attractive to women. Yet they may neglect the emotional and interpersonal skills that truly matter in a relationship. This dissonance can lead to dissatisfaction, where no amount of external success compensates for a lack of intimate, personal connections. The challenge then is not just to build and create, but to understand and connect. Marcus Aurelius once noted, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." This wisdom suggests that while striving for external achievements, men must also cultivate their inner world, developing empathy, kindness, emotional availability, and genuine interest in others. Eventually, the right girl is going to come into your life. Just be yourself. Just focus on yourself, King. Build up your life. Number 10. Boss and employee. In the vast expanse of relationship dynamics, one particular analogy often stands out: the comparison of romantic partnerships to the roles of boss and employee, or king and queen. This metaphor underscores a controversial yet traditional view on the balance of power in relationships, suggesting that in every partnership there must be a clear leader and a clear supporter. The idea here hinges on the notion that if a man does not assert his natural dominant role, the woman will take advantage of the situation, steering the relationship according to her will and potentially turning it into her personal property. This scenario paints a picture of relationships as power struggles, where maintaining dominance ensures stability and prevents exploitation. This approach can be contentious and is heavily influenced by traditional views on gender roles, where men are typically seen as the leaders or the bosses in a relationship. However, while this model may hold some practical benefits in certain contexts, it's crucial to approach it with caution. Relationships based on mutual respect, understanding, and equality often yield healthier and more sustainable outcomes. The danger in a boss-employee dynamic is that it can suppress the individuality and voice of the partner playing the subordinate role, leading to dissatisfaction, resentment, and a lack of genuine connection. If one chooses to view a relationship through this lens, it's essential to ensure that the leadership exercised is not authoritarian, but rather a type of leadership that is inclusive, considerate, and respects the autonomy and opinions of the other partner. True leadership in a relationship involves guiding the partnership towards common goals and shared happiness, rather than dictating or dominating. For those who resonate with the idea of taking a leading role in a relationship, it might be beneficial to draw on the Stoic idea of leadership, which focuses on wisdom, justice, courage, and moderation. Stoicism teaches that true leaders are those who lead by example, who can control their passions and emotions, and who treat others with fairness and respect. In this way, a man can be a leader in a relationship, not by imposing his will, but by fostering an environment where both partners feel supported, valued, and connected. Moreover, modern relationship counseling often emphasizes the importance of communication and negotiation. Even in scenarios where one partner takes a slightly more dominant role in decision-making, it should always be with the consent and agreement of the other partner, ensuring that both members of the relationship feel they are contributing equally to the partnership's success. Relationships thrive not when one person takes control at the expense of the other, but when both partners work together, each playing to their strengths, to build a union that is greater than the sum of its parts. Number 11. The female attitude. Navigating the complex landscape of male-female relationships can often feel like maneuvering through a minefield of emotional tests. This phenomenon, often referred to as testing, can manifest in various ways and is a critical aspect of the dating experience that many men find perplexing and frustrating. At the heart of these tests is the female desire to probe for emotional and psychological depth in their male partners. Women, either instinctively or through learned behavior, tend to test men to see how they handle stress, annoyance, or direct challenges to their boundaries. For example, consider a scenario where a woman might intentionally provoke a mild confrontation or throw a curveball during a conversation to see how her partner reacts. Does he lose his temper quickly? Does he withdraw or shut down? Or does he address the issue calmly, assertively, and constructively? These reactions provide deep insights into his character and potential as a long-term partner. The frustration for many men arises when they perceive these tests as unnecessary drama or games. It can be particularly challenging when these tests come at times of high stress or when they seem petty or trivial, like the scenario of being irritated by external distractions while trying to focus on a task. However, understanding that these moments are opportunities for demonstrating competence and composure can transform how these tests are perceived. It's crucial for men to recognize that these tests are not just obstacles, but are, in fact, pathways to deeper trust and respect in the relationship. The Stoic philosophy offers a valuable perspective here, embodied in the principle that the obstacle is the way. Instead of viewing a woman's tests as nuisances, they can be seen as opportunities to demonstrate qualities like patience, understanding, and the ability to remain composed under pressure. Responding effectively requires a balance of assertiveness and empathy. For instance, if a woman tests a man's patience, it's important for him to acknowledge his feelings, but also to communicate them in a way that is respectful and constructive. Saying something like, "I understand this is important to you and I want to address it, but let's discuss it calmly," can be far more effective than reacting with irritation or anger. Furthermore, setting boundaries is also crucial. If the testing becomes disrespectful or detrimental to the relationship, it's important to communicate clearly and firmly, drawing lines not out of anger, but from a place of self-respect and mutual respect can help maintain the health and longevity of the relationship. Number 12. If she likes you. Here's a dose of reality that might be a bit tough to digest. If she's into you, you won't have to wonder. She'll make an effort to see you, chat with you, and answer your messages promptly. It's as straightforward as that. The sting comes when we realize that the fervor we hope for simply might not be reciprocated. Let's unpack this with a scenario that might resonate with many. Picture this. You've met someone special. Eagerly, you send texts, dial their number, and propose outings. Yet, the replies are hit or miss, the chats feel like a monologue, and those plans, they're indefinitely on hold. This might lead you to ponder, is she really swamped, or is she just not that into me? Typically, when someone is truly interested, they carve out time no matter their schedule. This isn't about morphing into a love detective or trying to decode every text or gesture. Rather, it's about heeding the clear signs of interest, or the apparent absence of it. If you're perpetually analyzing and reanalyzing her every response or lack thereof, it's probably time to face the painful truth that the connection you're seeking might not be there. This can be especially tricky for those who find social cues challenging, including some individuals on the autism spectrum. If that's you, remember, you're not alone, and deciphering these signals is a skill that you can develop through persistence and proper support. For anyone struggling to navigate these social intricacies, tapping into resources that provide clear guidance on interpreting signs of interest could be invaluable. Expanding the view, this insight isn't limited to just romantic endeavors. It's a vital life skill. Whether it's friends, work associates, or potential partners, recognizing and accepting the level of interest others have can save you both time and emotional energy. So, when in doubt, remember this simple truth. Actions speak louder than words. If she's truly interested, her actions will declare it loud and clear. No response to your messages? That silence might be telling you all you need to know. Ghosted after what seemed like a fantastic date? Perhaps the magic wasn't mutual. Embracing these realities can steer you away from fruitless pursuits and guide you towards more meaningful interactions. And there you have it, gentlemen. The 12 harshest truths about women that too many men learn far too late. Navigating the complexities of female nature isn't just about surviving dating or maintaining a relationship. It's about thriving in them by understanding deeply and acting wisely. If this video opened your eyes or gave you something to think about, don't keep it to yourself. Hit that like button if you found it useful, share it with friends who might benefit from these insights, and subscribe to our channel for more straightforward advice on navigating the intricate world of relationships. Your comments are invaluable. Let us know your thoughts below, or share any experiences that could help others in our community learn and grow. Keep striving, keep learning, and see you in the next video.